In this lecture, we will discuss two kingdoms of the medieval period of Assam. The first one is the Koch Kingdom or Koch Rajya. And the other one we will discuss here is the Giantia Rajya or Giantia Kingdom, right? So initially this particular Giantia Rajya was a part of Assam, but now Giantia is a part of Meghalaya. So anyway, we'll discuss both Koch Rajya and Giantia Rajya. And in the previous lecture, I have already discussed the Muslim invasion to Assam, right? The first Muslim invasion took place in 1205. So anyway, then we have discussed the Koch Kingdom, right? So it was established by Hoindha. Then we have discussed the Khen dynasty. It was established by Nildhas Khan. Then we have discussed the Sutia Kingdom. So Birpal was the first Sutia king and Nitipal or Nityapal was the last Sutia king, right? Then comes the Kosari Kingdom. It was a very important kingdom of medieval period. I have already discussed Kosari Kingdom, and I have also discussed the Bhuya rulers, right? So here we'll discuss the Koch Rajya and Giantia Rajya. So let us get started. The Koch Kingdom. So in the year 1498 AD, Alauddin Hussain Shah invaded Kamrup Koch Kingdom, and he placed his son Daniel as its ruler. So as I have already mentioned in my previous lecture, that the Bhuya rulers got united whenever there is a common enemy. So when Daniel was placed as the ruler of Kamrup Koch, the Bhuya chiefs surrounding them actually the Koch Kingdom. So in the year 1498 AD, Alauddin Hussain Shah invaded Kamrup Koch Kingdom, and he placed his son Daniel as its ruler. So in my previous lecture, I have mentioned that whenever there was a common enemy, the Bhuya chiefs got united, right? So when Daniel was placed as the ruler of Kamrup, the Bhuya chiefs in the surrounding areas, they got united against Daniel, and in fact they attacked the garrison of Daniel that is in Hajo and destroyed it. And after that particular incident, there was no common king for Koch Kingdom or Kamrup Koch Kingdom for about a decade. And during that period, a number of internal conflicts between small Bhuya rulers or principalities had started. Then in the year 1515, this is a very significant year. In this year, Bihu was the son of massive Haryamandal, right? So Bihu actually took the advantage of the conflict among the Bhuya rulers, and he became the king under the name Biswahinga. So Biswahinga was initially, he was known as Bihu. He was the son of Haryamandal, and in the year 1515 he had established the Koch Kingdom. Then Biswahinga actually defeated Bhuyas of Oguri and Luki in the initial phase. Then he reached the Fulaguri region in Nagaon, but unfortunately he was defeated by the Bhuya of Fulaguri region. But later, actually the Bhuya soldiers, they engaged in a particular festival. So Biswahinga took that particular situation, he took the advantage, and he actually killed many soldiers as well as many Bhuya chiefs, right? After that, he defeated the Bhuya chiefs of Bizni and other places. After that, he occupied Guwahati by defeating the Bhuya of Pandu. So Pandu is located in Guwahati on the bank of river Brahmaputra, right? Then after defeating the Bhuya of Pandu region, Biswahinga defeated the head Bhuya of Bauchi. Bauchi is in Borpeta. And also he defeated their confederacies in Bozali. Bozali is in Borpeta, and Khetri. Khetri is in present-day Nagaon region. So here you can see Biswahinga defeated many Bhuya rulers in the initial period to establish the Koch Kingdom. So the entire country from Korotua river in the west to the Bornodi river in the east, it actually has become the border or boundary of Koch Kingdom under Biswahinga, right? And this particular Bornodi, it is in Dorong district, right? So here you can see Koch Kingdom was mainly in the western part of Assam. Then Biswahinga established his capital in Koch Bihar, and Koch Bihar, it is located in present day West Bengal state, right? And Biswahinga actually embraced and patronized Hinduism. And after establishing Koch Kingdom, he has brought numerous Brahmins to Koch Kingdom from North India, particularly from the regions like Kannauj, Banaras and other places. And Biswahinga also conducted a census of his subjects, right? That means he conducted a population of his kingdom. Then Biswahinga is said to have many wives. He had around actually 18 sons as well. The most prominent sons of Biswahinga were Malladev, Huklodhaj, Narahingha and Gohai Kamal, right? And Biswahinga died in 1540 after a reign of eventful 25 years. So Biswahinga established the Koch Kingdom in 1515, then he died in 1540, right? So at the time of the death of Biswahinga, Malladev and Huklodhaj, they were actually at Benares for learning, and that is why the Koch throne was occupied by Narahingha, another son of Biswahinga. But Narahingha was soon defeated and expelled by Malladev and Huklodhaj. So Malladev ascended the throne. Then Biswahinga is said to have many wives, and he has as many as 18 sons, including Malladev, Huklodhaj. Malladev and Huklodhaj were the most prominent sons of Biswahinga. Then Narahingha and Gohai Kamal were also prominent sons of Biswahinga, right? Then Biswahinga died in 1540 after a reign of eventful 25 years. So he established Koch Kingdom in 1515, right? 1515, and he died in 1540, right? And during the death of Biswahinga, actually Malladev and Huklodhaj, they were at Benares for learning purpose, and that is why the throne was occupied by Narahingha. But when they got the news, Malladev and Huklodhaj, they came back to Koch Kingdom and they defeated and expelled Narahingha. Then Malladev ascended the throne and he assumed the name Naranarayan. Then his brother Huklodhaj became the chief commander of Koch army, and he was a very skilled fighter, right? And he actually met with almost unvarying success. So he was very successful in his expedition. So Sila Rai actually had led many expedition or missions to defeat other kingdoms, right? And actually Huklodhaj displays much prominence in the action, and that is why he was nicknamed as Sila Rai. So he can fight like a kite. So his speed was very, very fast, right? And that is why he was known as Kite King or Sila Rai. And Sila Rai was very powerful, and he in fact ascended up to the north bank of Brahmaputra as far as Dikorai river. And he also engaged with battles or wars with Ahoms. The first engagement with Ahoms were at Koliabor and Khola, and it took place during the reign of Suklengmung or Gorgoya Raja. And in both those engagements, Ahoms were defeated by the Koch army led by Huklodhaj. Then in the last engagement on the bank of Pisola river, Huklodhaj was able to defeat the Koch army. And actually in the course of this expedition or invasion or war between Ahoms and Koch, Koch King Naranarayan constructed an embankment road from Koch capital Koch Bihar up to Narayanpur under the supervision of his brother Gohai Kamal, right? And this particular road was known as Gohai Kamal Ali. It is a 350 miles long road. Very, very important. So during the reign of Naranarayan, the Gohai Kamal Ali was built, and Gohai Kamal was the brother of Naranarayan. Then this particular road was completed in the year 1547 AD, and following the completion of this particular road, a fort was also erected in Narayanpur. And this particular Narayanpur, it is located at present day Lakhimpur district, right? Then regarding other expedition of Sila Rai, so Sila Rai led Koch expedition to Kosari Kingdom as well, and at that time the king was Durlabh Narayan. So he made submission and he paid tribute to Koch King Naranarayan, and that tribute consists of huge quantity of gold and silver. Then in the year 1653, actually Sila Rai also attacked Kingdom of Giantia, and he in fact killed the Giantia king. Then the kings of Manipur and Sylhet is in present day Bangladesh, right? So the kings of Manipur and Sylhet also made submission to Koch King Naranarayan, right? And also the chiefs of Dimorwa and Kheiram, they also made submission. So here you can see the Koch army led by Sila Rai was a very, very powerful army, right? And it was able to defeat most of the kingdoms surrounding the Koch kingdom, right? Here you can see all the expedition or missions. But finally comes the Gaura attack. So in the year 1565 AD, Sila Rai made an attack on Gaura Rajya or Gaura kingdom. But unfortunately, in that particular attack, Gaura army commander Kalapahar defeated Sila Rai. And in fact, Sila Rai was held captive. Then after that, Kalapahar ascended up to Tezpur, and in his return journey, he has demolished several Hindu temples, right? And the Hoygib Madhav temple, the Kamakhya temple were some of them. So Kalapahar destroyed Kamakhya temple as well as Hoygib Madhav temple and many other Hindu temples in Koch kingdom, right? But although Sila Rai was defeated, Naranarayan was not ready to accept this defeat as final defeat. So a few years later, in the year 1583, he joined hands with the Emperor Akbar. Then he made a second attack on the Gaura kingdom, and the Gaura Badshah was defeated. Then after that, Gaura was divided between the Emperor of Delhi and the Koch King Naranarayan. And during that particular attack, Sila Rai died of pox, right? Then a brief account of the Koch kingdom. So numerous manuscript actually contains accounts of Koch kingdom, and the most detailed account was found in the Dorong Rajbonkhawali. So basically it is the chronicle of the Koch kings, right? And during the reign of Naranarayan, actually British traveler Ralph Fitch visited Koch Bihar in the year 1536 AD, and he has also written a brief account of Koch Bihar. So this is a very important question. Who visited the Koch kingdom, which British traveler? Then the answer will be Ralph Fitch, right, in the year 1536. Then the reign of or the rule of Naranarayan actually reached the zenith of Koch power, and he was basically assisted by his brother Bir Sila Rai or Huklodhos. So Huklodhos or Sila Rai was the same person, and Naranarayan and Malladev was the same person, right? And Naranarayan was a Hakta Hindu, and that is why he actually sent his men to arrest Srimanta Shankardev, because actually he got some complaints that Himanta Shankardev has established or propagating a new faith, and that is why Naranarayan actually sent his army or sent his men to arrest Srimanta Shankardev. But later actually he realized that there is no fault of Srimanta Shankardev, and that is why he honored him later, right? Then after that particular event, Naranarayan started patronizing the Ekharan Dharma of Srimanta Shankardev, and in fact he also wanted to become a disciple, but Srimanta Shankardev refused to do so, right? Then Shankardev visited many places in Koch kingdom. Patbaukhi Khatra I have already discussed in the culture chapter, right? So Patbaukhi was a khatra established by Srimanta Shankardev, and it is located in Koch kingdom. Then Hunpura, Bheladanga, these are some other khatras where Shankardev propagated his views or faith. Then Naranarayan was a great patron of learning, and he patronized several scholars and authors. So during his rule, Purushottam Vidyabhagi authored a grammar called Ratnamala in Sanskrit. Then Ram Kharaswati translated Mahabharata into Assamese. Very, very important information. During the rule of Kosari Raja Mahamanikya, Madhav Kondoli translated Ramayana. And here, during the reign of Naranarayan, Ram Kharaswati translated Mahabharata into Assamese. Then Ananda Kondoli has translated Bhagavat and some other noble ancient texts into Assamese. Right? Then Naranayan also executed many useful public works. He built several roads. Guhai Kamal Ali was notable among them. Then he also erected several temples and constructed many tanks. And Naranayan actually had restored the famous temple of Kamaikha. So I have already mentioned that Kalapahar, the Mohammedan invader or Muslim invader, Kalapahar actually destroyed many Hindu temples. Kamaikha temple was one of them. So Naranayan had rebuilt the Kamaikha temple in the year 1565 AD. And he also introduced a silver coin called Narayani Mudra. So before actually at that period, before that, only Kori were used, right? Kori or copper coins were used, but Naranayan introduced silver coin and it was known as Narayani Mudra. Then Naranayan also made Koch Bihar an center of excellence of art and culture. Now let us discuss the decline of Koch Kingdom. So for a long time actually Naranayan had no male child or son. And that is why Sila Rai's son Raghudev was regarded as the heir or the next king of Koch Kingdom after Naranayan basically. But in his late age, Naranayan actually begot a son called Lakshmi Narayan. So a son was born of Naranayan in his late age. His name was Lakshmi Narayan. So when a son was born of Naranayan, Raghudev lost his hope of succeeding the Koch throne of Koch Kingdom, right? So he escaped to Barnagar and he rebelled against Naranayan. Then Naranayan tried to compel Raghurai to return to Koch Kingdom, but he failed. So finally, Naranayan resolved to divide his kingdom instead of fighting with his nephew. So he preferred to divide his kingdom. Then the possession of Koch territory from Hunkuk River to Barnodi River, it was given to Raghudev and it was later known as Koch Hazu. And Naranayan kept the western part of the Koch Kingdom for himself. So when the Koch Kingdom got divided, the western part was taken by Naranayan and the eastern part was taken by Raghudev. It was known as Koch Hazu. And Raghudev built the Manikut of Hoygrip temple or Hoygrip Madhav Mandir at Haju, which was destroyed by Kalapahar. So this is a very important information. Who rebuilt the Manikut of Hoygrip Madhav temple? Then the answer will be Raghudev. And Raghudev was the son of Sila Rai, right? And at the death of Naranayan in 1584, Lakshmi Narayan ascended the throne of Koch Bihar in the same year, 1584, right? So now let us discuss the fall of Koch Kingdom. So Raghudev declared independence after the death of Naranayan and he was succeeded by his son Parikshit in the year 1603. So here you can see Sila Rai's son was Raghudev and Raghudev's son was Parikshit, right? And Raghudev and Parikshit, they were the kings of Koch Hazu. Similarly, Lakshmi Narayan was the son of Naranayan, right? So after the death of Naranayan, Lakshmi Narayan became the king of Koch Kingdom, right? So after that, Parikshit and Lakshmi Narayan, they involved in hostilities or battles. Then Parikshit in fact mounted a cannon or Bortuk basically at Pandunath to the west of Kamaikha Hill, and he also built a town at North Guwahati. So since there was frequent hostilities between Lakshmi Narayan and Parikshit, Lakshmi Narayan felt helpless. So finally he made his submission to the Mughals in the year 1596 AD. So when Lakshmi Narayan actually sought the help of Mughals, Parikshit also helped, or he also asked the help of the Ahom kingdom, right? Then the Ahoms agreed to help Parikshit under one condition, that all the Koch army must be sent to Ahom army, but Parikshit has refused that particular condition. So finally in 1614, Parikshit also surrendered to the Mughal emperor after a long and desperate war. And finally his dominion up to Barnodi was annexed to the Mughal empire with its headquarters at Haju, right? So here you can see the decline of Koch Kingdom, right? Then Mughals actually placed Parikshit's son Chandra Narayan or Vijit Narayan as the zamindar of a territory between Hunkukh and Mana river, with its capital or establishment at Bizni. And he was the founder of the royal family at Bizni. Right. So here you can see there is a relation between the royal family at Bizni with the Koch Kingdom. Right. So I have discussed the fall of Koch Kingdom. Now let us discuss the kings of Dorong or Dorongi Raj. So in the year 1615, Parikshit's brother Boli Narayan fled away and he sought shelter under Ahom king Pratapsingha. And Pratapsingha actually very cordially received Boli Narayan. Right. Then Pratapsingha appointed Boli Narayan as the tributary Raja of Dorong and renamed him as Dharma Narayan. And Dharma Narayan assisted the Ahoms to fight against the Mughals. Right. So this is about the Dorongi Raj. Right. So with Boli Narayan, the Dorongi Raj started. Then in the year 1628 AD, a peace treaty was concluded between the Mughal commander Allah Tar Khan and the Ahom general Mumai Tamuli Borborwa. Then the boundaries between the two powers was fixed on both banks of Brahmaputra, Bornodi on Dorong Kamrup on the north bank and Okhurur Ali near Guwahati on the south bank. And this particular treaty was known as Okhurur Ali, as I have already mentioned. And the territory to the west of Bornodi was given to the Mughals, and Ahoms were left with the undistributed portion of Kuch Haju that was ruled by Parikshit. Right. So here you can see the fall of Koch Kingdom and the Dorongi Raj. And from that particular time actually the eastern coast rulers lost their identity and the western coast rulers continued as vassal or tributary king of Mughals. So this is the fall of Koch Kingdom, right? And finally, let us discuss the fall of Dorongi Raj. So Dharma Narayan was succeeded by Mohendra Narayan, Chandra Narayan and Khurja Narayan. So basically they were kings of the Dorongi Rajya, right? So after the, here you can see, after the fall of Koch Kingdom, the Dorongi Raj was established by Pratapsingha basically, right? And Dharma Narayan was the first Dorongi Raja. Then after Dharma Narayan, he was succeeded by Mohendra Narayan, Chandra Narayan and Khurja Narayan. Then in 1682 AD, Khurja Narayan was defeated and he was held captive by Mansur Khan. And he chose minor Indra Narayan to the throne. Then on the death of Indra Narayan in 1725 AD, Aditya Narayan became the king of Dorong. And during the reign of Aditya Narayan, his brother Madan Narayan occupied a large territory of Dorong and it got divided under two rulers, Burha Raja and Deka Raja. So it brought the end of Dorongi Raj, right? So this is all about regarding Koch Kingdom, Dorongi Raj and finally the end of Dorongi Raj. Now let us discuss the Giantia Kingdom. So Giantia, it was a very the Giantia tribe, they were ancient and original inhabitants of Northeast India. And there is no considerable materials found regarding the history of Giantia Kingdom. And the Giantia Kingdom information, the information on Giantia Kingdom are based on the chronicles of Ahom and Koch Kingdom. And as per the chronicles, Parbat Rai was said to be the first king of Giantia. He ruled from 1500 to 1516. And Kush commander Sila Rai invaded Giantia Kingdom in 1653 and in fact he killed the Giantia king at that time. And in the beginning of 17th century, Dhan Manik and his son Jokh Manik, they also ruled the Giantia Kingdom. Then they were succeeded by Hundar Rai, Chota Parbat Rai and Jaswanta Rai. This was their period of rule. Then in the year 1662 AD, Jaswanta Rai made a failed attempt to declare independence and he was succeeded by Ramsingha, Pratapsingha and Lakshmingha. And Ramsingha was a very famous Giantia king. And in fact, he held Kosari king Tamrodhaj Narayan as captive, right? Then Ramsingha was succeeded by Joy Narayan, Bor Gukhai, he was a very important king. Then Satra Singha, Jatra Narayan and Bijoy Narayan, right? Then finally, in the year 1790, Ramsingha II the second Ramhinga became Giantia king, and Giantia didn't have any major conflict with the Ahoms, right? And Rajendra Hinga was the last Giantia king, and after Rajendra Hinga in the year 1835, the British, they have annexed the territory of Giantia into British India, right? So guys, this is all about regarding Koch Kingdom and Giantia Kingdom. Thank you for watching.